let's get started. So first of all, I'm your community manager, Kartik's here. So I invite you to this AMA session along with our CEO Dominic, and we also added few game streamers all the way from India who will actually ask few questions as well. I hope you all enjoy the session and stay tuned as we will be taking questions from the audience at the end. So every OG and every Gen Zero members will be able to ask questions, and we'll actually take the questions from the chat itself. So I'm inviting Crypto Gamer, Dominic Mayoff, our CEO, and some of the streamers and some of the every community members to this chat.
Hey guys, welcome. I'm Dominic here. Nice that you guys join us. I hope everyone can hear me all right. Kartik, please let me know if I cannot be heard. If you guys hear me, no need to say anything. First of all, thanks for joining. It's nice to talk to you. Last AMA session has been quite a while. As usual, we're working day and nights. I know there's many people are actually following us on our socials. They sometimes see at what hours we put in as a team. There's been just recently this week, we had a couple of nights where we did all-nighters, right, to make our big announcements, have a reveal trailer ready. We're working hard on that, and that's why we actually didn't have the time to do an AMA, but we're going to do more regular AMAs from now on. So stay tuned for the future. Regarding the announcement yesterday, I think that's the best to start there. I'm personally ultra excited. Not many people know this, but I actually played professional basketball when I was young. This is ages ago, obviously. I'm already 41. I feel very old now. But when I was like 15, 16, I was playing on a very high level. And then I moved actually to the US and played in the USA in a prep school, one of the best schools for basketball in the USA, and had plenty of Division I scholarship offers. So this announcement from yesterday that NBA superstars LaMelo Ball, Lonzo Ball, LiAngelo, and LaVar and Tina, that these guys join us is for me something ultra exciting. Not just from the gaming side in general, right? Like I follow basketball up until today. This is literally something that I do in my very little free time that I have. I look at the NBA and see, okay, what's going on there, and I was also happy to see actually that LaMelo had a great game this morning. That I saw a couple of stats. Preseason in the NBA just started, so very exciting for us, right, to have these kind of celebrities. And I mean, LaMelo is a superstar, and I mean, the guy signed a $260 million contract. I think that tells you everything you need to know. And that these guys are supporting us is just amazing, right? So I have my deepest respect for LaVar as a dad to bring up 3 superstar athletes. I've never heard anyone do that. And Tina, as their parents. So personally, something ultra exciting. But let's jump in. Let's open up the first questions. So please, our streamers that I invited, that they had some specific questions, or any community member, OGs, Gen Zeros, or general community members, feel free to ask me any questions, and then we can go through it.
So the streamers, so you guys can actually ask questions right now. I have enabled permission for you. So,
sir, what inspired the concept and the story behind Strayshot?
Well, concept is a longer story. I mean, we're a small gaming studio, right? So when we initially decided to build this game, we were first focused on, okay, what is doable for the size that we have. Also recognizing that we are bootstrapped, meaning we're like completely self-funded by iBloxx, by ourselves at the beginning before we did a funding round. So we looked at, okay, what is realistically doable for us? For example, we knew from the beginning we could not build an RPG, right? Like that would be way too heavy from the development side. And there were also other aspects, which we can talk about later, from a game economy perspective, where we felt like this is the right way to go. I would say competition was certainly one of the driving forces behind the esports genre, and having like a competitive game was something that made a lot of sense for us. from that aspect on, and so this is what we had decided on. Story-wise, the story of Strayshot, there's not too much info that we have shared yet, but rest assured this will come now. So you actually start as a bounty hunter in an island in South America where you have to fulfill certain quests. So we will always have a storytelling included in whatever you do. We are planning on introducing many different seasons with many different quests, but it's all balanced around, or it's all circling around competitive shooter game mechanics. However, on different levels, and we can go into more details later on.
Yeah, I have one. Can you share some instincts into the game development and your journey and what's your major milestone till your development journey?
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to. So
Yes.
we are approaching about almost 2 years in development. We started literally just after Christmas that week, so in the new year. So we're close to 2 years in development, and what we maybe from a feature perspective, I can give you a couple of small features that we're looking to introduce in the very near future. So we already actually implemented the voice chat. It's just not yet tested well enough. So because certain things can have impact performance on the server, and we obviously have to manage that. But we're currently testing a few things. It's not going to be in today's beta session, but hopefully it will be in the next or in latest in the one thereafter. We also already have vehicles in the game, but there as well, we want to clean up a couple of cosmetical aspects that when you get a vehicle for the Battle Royale match, that when you shoot that vehicle, that it explodes very nicely. So we're adding a couple of VFX effects into it currently, so you can expect to see that in the near future. And certain destructible buildings. With the destructible buildings, we have to balance out, okay, what is good for the performance of the game versus what is really fun, right? So the destructible buildings that we will introduce is mainly those areas where people maybe want to camp, want to snipe, like a hideout or a lighthouse or something like that, where you have a good overview for sniping. But it comes at a significant risk, because if someone has like a rocket launcher, an RPG, or grenades, then he can blow up that whole part, and you obviously die in there. So it's a risk reward, right? So those are the specific features that are very close to being introduced already. However, on a larger scale, I would say on a big picture level, the next big introductions that we are actually planning is first a tutorial map. Where people have a storytelling, where they learn about the game, you learn the game mechanics, you learn how to heal yourself first, and it's all guided. It's like in an amazing environment. You will love it. You see a bit of the environment already in the team deathmatch map, but more even on the user interface. The new user interface we introduced 2 weeks ago in the previous beta testing. So you will see what's coming there a little bit, but the environment is absolutely stunning that we're working on. I really love that. So this tutorial map is going to be for us a game changer, because you can literally download then the game and you can instantly play. You don't have to wait until we do the beta sessions with anyone. You can play it whenever you want. And we're going to do a player versus environment map there as well, so people can train, people can play on their own whenever they want. You just play against AI. This is mainly for training purposes and for fun. So these are the next big milestones that we're all looking to achieve, definitely this year altogether, right? So, I mean, this year is basically 2 more months, you can say. So in those 2 months, expect a lot of updates.
First of all, hello, Crypto Gamer.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. I want to ask, what challenges did you face during the development process, and how did you overcome with that?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Good question. Good question. So I would say the biggest challenge for us was balancing performance of the game, that it doesn't lag, that you have good server performance, you have good pings, although, of course, ping depends on the location where you're connecting from. And right now, everybody's playing on the same server. This obviously will not stay like this. But I would say that was the biggest challenge, managing performance versus managing the look and feel, right? The look and feel, what I mean by that is not necessarily the environment, because that should never have an impact on performance, at least not on the server performance, only on your local machine. But the look and feel of animations, because the most consuming performance that you'll ever have in a multiplayer shooter game is literally the animations. And we have a lot more good animations in the game already, which we're currently testing. And that's always the biggest challenge, to optimize certain animations that server performance doesn't drop when you have 50, 60, 70, or 100 players. Any other questions? Also from community, right? I mean, anyone can ask.
Hello, Crypto Gamer.
Hey, hi.
I have basically one question. Could you discuss the game approach to anti-cheat and fair play?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a huge aspect, right? For us, a much larger aspect than, I would say, normal shooter games, which are notoriously known for cheaters and hackers, right? But because our game has in-game currency, which translates to real US dollars, so you as a gamer, if you play well and you earn this in-game currency, you can decide to use it to buy skins and characters and upgrades and all of these things. But you can also just decide to cash it out, right? And so anti-cheat is absolutely crucial for us, to have really good anti-cheats. So we're going to take a completely different approach, because in traditional gaming shooter games, cheating is somewhat tolerated from the studios. Because it's a pain in the ass for everyone, for every studio, right? It needs constant monitoring, it needs constant updates. It's very expensive to work with certain anti-cheats, because that's always priced on a CCU basis, on concurrent user basis, or at least that's the most common pricing models. So many big studios don't really focus too much on it. Versus with us, since you can actually earn in-game currency that translates to real life, that you can spend outside, to go shopping, or if you play really well, go on a holiday or whatever, right? We have to make it a focus. So cheaters in our game will be penalized very harshly. So they would literally be banned for life. If we can, obviously, right? We are securing certain information about the players, obviously, like the MAC address of the machine and certain things. But in addition to that, obviously, we need good anti-cheats, right? So we have currently 2 anti-cheats implemented, which are in test mode. We're going to add 2 more. So we'll have 4 anti-cheats once we go live with the full game, to make sure that we are as secured as possible. In addition to that, we're implementing certain other features which help us for monitoring. So what you will see later on today, hopefully you can join us. If you play the Battle Royale mode, there's a spectator system inside. So you can spectate the guy who killed you. And we're also working on a kill cam feature. And certain things are always going to be recorded from our side, right? So we're working on a lot of things. For the bigger events, and that has more to do with the mode of the gameplay mode that we will introduce, which is currently very confidential because it's awesome. I love it. In this mode itself, we have live referees as well, right? Like, so we intend to hire quite a few people to purely, do customer support and do, I would say, refereeing, right? Like a referee that makes sure, okay, things are going as planned. Of course, we'll always rely on tech. So these 4 anti-cheats that we're using, or 2 of them already implemented, one is an AI anti-cheat, and the others are typical anti-cheats, I would say. We're not going to say which ones it is, because that would defeat a bit of the purpose of anti-cheats. It's possible to find out, of course, if you try to hack the game, there might be information for you to find out which anti-cheats we're using. But you have rest assured that we are taking it very, very seriously. I would say more serious than anyone else in the shooter game genre.
Yep. I have one last and final question. What are your thoughts on the competitive gaming scene in India and its growth potential?
Wow, I mean, India is huge, right? Like,
Yep.
when you see BGMI is just again reintroduced. It's a huge revenue driver. There's lots of people
Yes,
playing it again. Same for Free Fire, right? I mean,
Yes.
India is for us, I would say, one of the biggest markets, right? So clearly, we are hoping to make a strong push in India, together with you guys, hopefully, right? That we are hoping that you will like what we're doing and you join us for years to come, hopefully.
Also, so we have 2 questions from our community members itself. So Mallu, he actually asked 2 questions. One, what languages the game will be available? And the second question, any information about the locked game modes?
I only understood the first question, which languages are available. I mean, right now, obviously English, right? That's where we start. And then we intend to localize. And we intend to localize on the markets that we're focusing on. So I would say one language that we want to expand on is certainly Spanish as well. But of course, certain Indian languages are planned. But it depends a bit on the market segment. So at the beginning, we'll go out globally, right? And everybody can play the game. And we're going to see, okay, where is our game the most accepted? Where is the biggest retention? And then, of course, we're going to focus on localizing a lot of different languages. Can you please repeat the second question, because you broke up, Mohammed?
The second question was regarding will there be a mobile version? So that's the most commonly asked question which I'm getting every time from the community itself.
Yes. So yeah, I have good news on this one. There will 100% be an Android version and probably an iTunes version as well for iPhones, right? However, I cannot tell you the date yet, but rest assured we're already working on it, right? So in my opinion, we're already advanced, but we're still a small team. So the focus is first PC version, right? And then mobile. Those are the expansion plans. First, we are going to launch on PC. And right after the full game launch, we are looking forward to the mobile phone launch. It's not going to be later than end of Q2 next year, right? So I think we'll be quite a bit before that. But that's as much as I can tell you. So it's definitely going to come not too long anymore, because I mean we're already approaching end of the year. It depends a bit on the hiring as well, because we constantly look for good game developers, and hey, maybe we get a couple of good applicants and then we can even speed it up further. But I would say Q2 next year is something that is very realistic, and let's see if we can even push those boundaries and be there before. Any other questions, Kartix?
Yeah, I have one question. Hello, Mr. Crypto Gamer.
Sure.
How are you doing?
Very good. How are you?
I'm good. So I want to ask you, could you tell us about the unique feature and gameplay mechanics that set for Strayshot apart from the other games?
So let me do one thing. Let me actually add VC access to the community members so they can actually ask questions.
So our plan is literally to bring esports to your home, that we do a professional esports environment where everybody can play from home. However, we are super open to organizing local esports events, right? So if this is something that you would propose, you want us to do, we're super open to that, right? So we're definitely going to do some events here in Dubai. That's 100% sure, because it's easy for us, because 95% of the team is here. But we're also super open to organizing events in India, in the US, in the Philippines, wherever, right? Like that's something that we would love to do.
So I wanted to ask, what steps will be taken in order to ensure that what happened, I want to say about a week ago now, doesn't happen again when in regards to the communication between staff and the community of there being a session going on, and even though maybe even if it's private, it was known that there were some content creators streaming at the time, which would have probably been a great idea to at least let the community know, so that way people can watch, because I know, and maybe you guys know, that people at least want to just be able to see gameplay, and because a lot of people want to see what the gameplay actually is before even bothering putting it to install.
Very good question on that end, and apologies again for that. I mentioned it a bit at the beginning of the call, the immense amount of hours that we put in, and at the end it was my mistake, because I communicated it, but I didn't follow up on it, and we are just super underwater, super busy with delivering everything. Everything is tight, from a deadline perspective. But that doesn't excuse the fact that this was literally a mess up. I cannot say it any other way. And what we did afterwards was we had a lengthy discussion and recognized the mistakes that were made. and we hired actually community managers. I see Dawn here in the call already. We'll have a couple of more community managers, and in addition to that, it's this community council. So what I envision for our game is that we are going to do at least weekly update sessions with the community council representatives, and those will be the spokespersons for the whole community. And we're hoping that the community council reps will grow and grow. But in addition, we obviously hire more moderators, to make sure that the communication between development, or let's put it like this, management, development, artists, and moderators is more clear, right? But apologies again, that was clearly a mess up on our side.
Okay, understandable. Another question I had was questions about the affiliate program. It's been known that some streamers, like as before, had gotten the ability to have a session like this, and some streamers have come to me asking when it's going to be their time to shine. So you have these are even some members that have been very active in the community, and they're just wondering if they're being left out, or how do they get their slice of the pie, and just kind of get in.
Okay, yeah, understandable as well. So with the affiliate system, and that was, wow, that was, I mean, Cartex knows how upset I was with certain affiliate system providers. So we, after screening for months, what is the right affiliate system to work with from a tech perspective, right? Because we want to provide our community the option that you can share content, you can do a stream, and if somebody signs up through that stream and this person buys something, buys a skin or a battle pass or whatever it is, that a certain revenue share will be allocated to that referrer. In addition to that, what makes it even more exciting is if, let's say there's a couple of people signing up through your referral link, and one of these guys qualifies for a tournament and wins the tournament maybe, and gets a lot of in-game currency, then there's on top of that is something that we're paying out in addition for the referral as well. So it's going to be really good for content creators, and for anyone who wants to support our game and invite other people. However, what happened was this affiliate system from the US, they completely screwed us over. So we spent I personally spent at least 100 hours of my time going through the requirements. There's literally software development and project management stuff. And it was an immense amount of time that I spent on it, and even more, of course, what the team spent on it, right? So what happened then at the end was, oh, yeah, okay, now we can do that. Oh, by the way, the price that we agreed on, oh, no, you need to pay, I don't know, a ridiculous amount, like a ridiculous six-figure amount on top of that, because it's actually more complicated than we had thought, right? So this didn't sit well with me, you can be sure, because we spend so much time answering all their questions and all of this effort that we put in. So it's currently, honestly, with legal, so they will handle that, and then we'll see. But however, we actually started building our own, because what we are doing is complex. I understand that, because we have different events, right? There's it's different when somebody buys a skin on the in-game marketplace versus he gets a reward from a tournament, right? Those need to be tracked differently. So what we're doing is quite complex. However, we made a lot of progress. So we have the baseline almost finished, I would say. I think safe to say we will be able to introduce this in November, during November sometime, and then people that are interested can get in touch with us and then can sign up. It's obviously free for anyone, and they can start then streaming sessions and all of this. This is also a little bit why we didn't push too much yet on the content creator side. But please rest assured, any content creator that is amongst you in the community or wherever, please approach us, right? This is exactly what we're hoping for, that we can work with you guys together and share the cool stories about Strayshot.
Yeah, just I'll have a few more points and maybe smaller questions, but I just want to say that that was a great answer, because that made the affiliate program a lot more clear. Because I know a lot of people are under the impression that it was simply like a role that you would get to be like, hey, look it, now we are gonna support you, and because you're gonna support us, and you're gonna get more attention. But But thanks for the
No,
explanation. That was a lot
no,
clear.
yeah, no. I mean, it's not that we're going to build something really, really good, right? So the streamers and the content creators and anyone from our community who wishes to support us, they will get access to an internal dashboard where they can see how many people signed up, how many matches did my guys who signed up played. Did this guy win something? How much, rewards did I earn for this? And these rewards you can then use to buy skins or season passes, or just cash out, whatever you prefer. Right? It's literally the same currency that you can exchange for US dollars or whatever currency you're looking for. So it's gonna be something really good, right? It's not just you get a role and yeah, please share something. We don't want to go that way. So we feel like what we have here together with you guys is too good to just take it too easy on that. That's why we spend so much time on this affiliate system with these, sorry, morons, and excuse my expression, but I just can't. I mean, Cartex knows how upset I was, like immensely, and they're a huge company. They're like a $50 billion company, and I had a deja vu to my time when I was vice president in Credit Suisse, and I managed a lot of people there. And part of my job was also to lead software development teams there, and it's just so corporate. It's like it's this corporate politics inside a software development company. And then suddenly, oh yeah, here, a huge price tag that was never indicated. Like literally, we were like, okay, next week this thing goes live, and then we're like, no, wait, here's a huge bill, and that didn't sit well with me. So this is literally currently with legal. Not that it makes a difference because I have written it off, but I just this didn't sit well with me, and yeah, we're currently building it. As we speak, and we made some good steps forward. If you guys want, I can share an update, maybe not next week, but the week after, where we stand, and we could probably start onboarding the first few content creators then quite soon thereafter. But certainly in November, we can start the onboarding for content creators, and this comes, obviously, community always comes first, right? Like. That's very clear. So even if OG members, Gen Z members, maybe they don't have the huge following that certain other content creators have, because we get inquiries from very big ones, and I'm super grateful for everyone who joins us. But the community members that are here from day one, you will not be left behind, right? So rest assured that anyone from the community who we know is supportive and helps us. It doesn't matter how large your following is. We'll always accommodate you as well. But I'm super excited that we have streamers here today, and that they want to support us in building the Indian market especially, and it's really awesome.
Right. I just have one final question before we pass it off to the OGs, because I know they're having some questions. What steps are going to be taken? Because I asked this earlier, but I don't think it was really answered. It was just a response. But what steps are going to be taken in order to ensure that things are communicated clearly? That way, the situation last week doesn't happen again, and just overall, the community get the community included, even if it's like small announcements of if you're flying out somewhere and there might be something streamed, just to have the community at least watch instantly, because there's a lot of dry spells of what's going on, and engagement drops significantly. If it's not a session, it just drops. So just just updates like that. It doesn't have to be a pain to bother everyone. Just at least if it's dropped in chat, because even on the official website for Strayshot, the news section is gone. A lot harder to find anything.
Yeah, I think it was answered with the what we did to prevent it was we hired more community moderators, and we're working on the communication between myself, the developers, artists, and the community moderators. Because Cartex is the only guy who's sitting here in the office, right? So he has a huge workload, and we have to support him obviously more. So there's more people supporting him then. That's that the communication is more frequent with you. But the biggest difference will be the community council, right? Because you guys might know it who know me a little bit better, but I literally have 100+ hour work weeks right now, right? And I forget stuff then because I try to do everything as good as possible. And if we have a community council in place where we just have weekly catch-ups, hey, then there everything will be communicated, right? And then we rely on those community council representatives to share that information with everybody, in addition to the public channels, even if it's just a follow-up, right? Where we say, hey, guys, you ping us and say, Dom, the story has not been updated yet. You should actually communicate that you're flying to Gamescom Germany, or you're flying to the GDC in San Francisco like last March, and things like that, right? Because it's hectic, I have to say. So my hopes are that the community council will take care of all of this communication. But in addition to that, we have Don here who supports us, and we'll have more staff to work on that, right? So I think this will not happen anymore, and will be significantly improved.
All right. So my only thing is, because I am.
We'll pick this up next week on Monday. We'll talk to Don and Cartex internally, and then we'll just set it up. I don't think this should be a too lengthy process. So how about we catch up next week and see how this is handled? We just need to think about the monitoring of certain channels. And all of that. So as long as that's taken care of, I don't see anything speaking against that. So to me, this sounds fantastic.
Well, thank you for that. I mean, we have been asking for a while, and I mean, me and Wolfles, like Wolfles posted in here, we've been talking about it for a while. We've also had ideas. We know how to control it if you guys need help with it, as I've been part of multiple Discords that have hundreds of thousands of people that stream and everything. So I'm pretty sure we would both be happy to help if you guys do need that, and if just let us know and we'll happily lead you in the right way.
Awesome. No, sounds fantastic. So you will hear definitely from us next week. Okay, so I'll have an internal team talk on first thing Monday morning. And then we can have a discussion Tuesday, Wednesday, or whatever. But let's get it done. Let's set it up. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, bud.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Hi, Dominic. Hi, Cartex. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes, brother.
Hey.
Okay. I have only one question, which is how you people earn money, because so many people are skeptical still because of the Web3 platform. So it's a from my understanding, it's a free to play game, and you guys make money from in-app purchase and royalty. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes. So it's a free to play game. However, you can still buy battle passes or a season pass. You can buy certain skins if you want. And there's also a microtransaction tax in there, and this is how we finance the whole operations. In addition to that, you might be aware of it. So I personally invested quite a lot of money in the company and in the game, and I raised some money with the team together to basically finance all of these operations. So we actually have a good run rate for 2 years almost currently. And we're looking to obviously then have consistent revenue from microtransactions and the cosmetic transactions.
Okay, thank you for the reply. That's the only one.
Welcome.
Okay.
Welcome.
So, is anyone have any questions which they want to ask? Please feel free to ask the question.
We have about 10 more minutes. Because beta will start at 7, so we'll close the AMA at in 5 to 10 minutes. So we have a couple of more questions we can do, and then I would actually look forward to gaming later on.
I have a question. What's your planning about cross-play platform, like a PC player playing with mobile gaming, mobile player? Have you any plan for that?
No, consciously no, because would be quite unfair to have PC players play against mobile phone players. especially considering it's very competitive, right? Everything that we do is like esports focused and competition focused, and I think it would be very unfair if someone with the best PC equipment, near a server, right, competes against someone that has to play on an older Android phone, and if it's for non-competitive purposes, that could be done. It would not be too difficult to route them together in a server. We could think about that for a fun session. What we're doing for certain cheaters, we are matching them then together. So we already identified very few amount of cheaters, but we haven't even implemented everything yet from the anti-cheats. But things like that we certainly plan. But matching mobile phone players with PC players is definitely not planned on a competitive level. We actually strongly advise against it because I think it just would be completely unfair.
And console also, you going to be separate? Yeah, any
Yes.
plan about console? Okay, thank you.
Yes, consoles will also be separate. There we could talk about crossplay in, for example, Xbox versus PlayStation and things like that. We would analyze that closely. So that's something we could look into it. But we're not going to mix. Even PlayStation, Xbox with PC will be separated because it's still too much of an advantage for the PC gamer. And yeah, so consoles is also on our expansion plan. But first, before consoles, we're looking to Android.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so there was a
Welcome.
question by Cuba on here that hasn't been answered yet. How will custom games work? Will we be available to create all users custom games or only some people verified by you in case of creating events or tournaments?
So can you specifically say the question again? What do you mean by custom events? You mean custom events for specific beta tournaments that we are planning, or what exactly are you referring to?
I'm thinking he's talking about if people can create their own tournaments within the game. Is that going to be created by you guys or by verified gamers?
We can think about that. That's something that I would say the community council could propose, for example, right? So we already have this DAO platform that we're not currently using much, which we should then change, where things like that can be proposed, right? So we have a couple of matchmaking logics where we are able to do matchmaking on pairing certain teams, and we could certainly do matches based on that as well. So the way it works in the background is literally certain clan leaders and people have like NFTs, identifiers that they can give to other members, and then they can play together against other teams. I hope that answers the question in that direction. But if there's further questions towards that, you can ping me in Discord as well.
To piggyback off of that custom events question, that kind of brings in the idea of being able to run custom games where people will have the abilities to launch lobbies and lobby settings and invite a plethora of people in order to host their own events. That kind of just piggybacking off of the original question.
Yeah. Currently for the very near future, not planned yet, because server infrastructure is the thing that is the most complicated to build, right? And then we would need to identify, okay, Wolfie wants to play with his guys for matchmaking, and then he wants to play on this server, and it needs to be fair. What we can do is certainly if there's a non-competitive element in it, so you can then not play and then earn certain in-game currency for that, but purely for the fun of it, we could set up something like that. So this is something that we could look at. I could talk to our backend engineers. What's the easiest way to do this? It's obviously similar to creating normal matches, and we are switching a core infrastructure behind the scenes, where something like that is probably not too difficult to implement, because it's like an orchestrator on which server are we gonna go on. And it works with all the big ones, apart from bare metal servers that we are renting. You can then also go on AWS, on Azure, on Tencent Cloud, on Alibaba, whatever you want. And we could do this for community servers as well. So this would actually be certainly very doable. It was just not planned, so it's not going to happen this year. So in the next 2 to 3 months, this will not be available. But we could target it if you guys vote for something like that. That there is a big community behind it that wants that. We can do that.
So guys, we can just have one more session, one more questions, because the beta session starts in exactly 9 minutes. So we need to have at least 5 minutes in between.
So you've made it clear that after the full release of the game, you guys want to expand to more platforms. But while that's happening, do you have plans to keep a part of the team to continue to develop more for the PC version of the game?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, no, 100%. So the extension of the platform itself will never drastically impact the normal game development, because first and foremost, we want to make the game good and expand on the game, right? So apart from the features that I already mentioned, what I forgot to mention, one of the biggest things that we're working on is the animation frameworks of character movement, that everything looks much more smooth and looks much cooler. Introduce new levels. Okay, no worries. I hope that answered the question. So our focus is clearly to keep the game entertaining, always introduce new things, work on the stuff that you guys propose, in addition to our plans that we have. That's always the focus, right? The mobile phone expansion and then later on the console expansion is something which I'm allocating maximum 20 to 25% of the resources. So 80% will always be on the core game, and all of those features that we're building on that are extending the PC version will later on, of course, be taken into the mobile phone and into consoles as well. But the focus is literally to improve literally all aspects of the game, right? Because we still have a long way to go. I mean, we love our game. We love when we're playing it. But we also know that there are shortcomings. There's things that we need to improve upon. And we're working very hard on that. Right. So yesterday was one of the testaments that we're able to convince some NBA stars that played our game. They love it as well. So there's going to be quite a couple of cool events. So you'll be able to play against celebrities later on and things like that. So we're planning a lot of that from the event perspective. But the most important thing is always the game development.
Okay, great. Thanks for your time.
So guys, for everyone, thank you for joining the AMA session. I hope we have cleared a lot of questions which were actually piling up in the community. And also, thank you guys for joining, and thank you guys for spending time with us and asking your questions. We really appreciate that. So our beta session for today, it actually starts exactly in 5 minutes. So let's just end this AMA session right now, and let's be prepared, and we'll see you guys in the game room. And also this time game room, I have enabled streaming as well, so you guys can actually stream your gameplays or anything you want to do as well. So see you guys on the game room in exactly 5 minutes. So we're going to play the game, we're going to enjoy it, we'll take feedback from your end, and we'll update it, we'll improve more. So I'm ending the AMA at the moment. I hope you guys have enjoyed. And yes.
Thank you guys. Thanks for your time, and see you in the game in 5 minutes. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Thanks for your time.
See you guys in the game room. We'll head over to a game room.